good.
I have, like, on the border between just a regular rifle and an assault weapon and a sawed-off style shotgun.
If you go down to, like, the military surplus store, the Navy surplus store, whatever, you can get, like, a K-bar for, like, $30-40. And it's just a combat knife. It's a fixed blade, 5 inches or so, but it's just, you strap it on your leg and you're good to go. I mean, this one's, like, tiny, so you have to really stab him.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back live. And you notice I'm coming back into breaks a little bit late today because behind the scenes, a lot is going on. A lot of intel is coming in. If you just joined us, Antifa plans civil war to overthrow the government. That's on drudgereport.com today, right in the middle column. It's also on newswars.com. It's a Paul Joseph Watson article. We're going to get to that in a moment. You've got Steven Crowder's undercover folks getting video. You've got the people at Veritas getting these similar videos. You've got our camera crews getting these videos out in the open, they're saying this. We have a flood of Antifa saying they are preparing with weapons, knives, guns to kill conservatives, patriots, and white people en masse. And ladies and gentlemen, when you go look at these crowds or these videos, 90% of the people are white. I don't want to demonize white people. I don't blame any group for what other people in the group do, but it's a fact that it is weird social justice warrior, crazed, self-hating white people that are trying to ignite a race war in America. Now, here is Doug Hagman on August 26 on this broadcast, a month ago plus, laying out his sources and the undercover audio and video they're getting. The full interview is an hour long. It's up on Infowars.com, but it should be added to Paul Joseph Watson's article because this is just more proof. So here is a clip of private investigator Doug Hagman.
Briefly, for those just joining, essentially we have a handful of investigators across the country, specific cities investigating and infiltrating these fascist groups. They've successfully done so in many cases. The latest report early this morning, 4:10 Eastern time this morning, saying, look, this one particular meeting in San Francisco, so well organized, the tactics, the training being very professional, the age of people there range from late 60s, perhaps early 70s, all the way down to late teens. This is the Resist Fascism movement. That's what they're calling themselves, but it's actually a fascist
And the report says
movement.
it's a lot of professionals. These aren't just the average meth head.
Yeah, exactly. These are above these are the people who are sending out the cannon fodder. The idiots you see in the street with the baseball or the bicycle helmets on and the baseball bats. I mean, those people are the useful idiots. The hire a stooge for a day or two and go out there and take a few whacks. Okay, that's who those people are. These people are the planners. These people are the architects of the chaos that we're seeing.
The brains.
Yeah, exactly. However, they're bringing in these professionals to teach, as you said, the weapons, self-defense.
They're force multiplying a revolutionary group.
Yep. Yeah. And
so it goes on. He breaks it all down, the plans to use weapons. And now we have hours of video. So no one can say this is edited, of just private meetings on the streets, just pouring in. And you go out to these things and they run over and scream, die, F you. They pour coffee on you. They have their kids doing it. This is what they're doing out in the open. Can you imagine the frothing, insane hate? And you think, well, so what if Tom Brokaw calls you a total racist? Nobody believes him. Yeah, 90% of people know that's bull, but there's a good 10% that literally think they are Captain America fighting Red Skull. In fact, more and more, they're showing up. They've put real comics out showing Captain America beating up the Tea Party a few years ago, and I'm one of the people Captain America beats up. And these people read it. They show up as live-action role players. And they just start attacking men, women, and children because they believe, take that, Hitler. So 3 years ago, they'd all go out to a park and have simulated battle with each other with rubber swords and rubber spears, dressed like elves and goblins. Good fun. I've driven by and seen it at parks and got out and watched it. It looks like they're having a good time. But see, here's the deal. They're not just playing Dungeons and Dragons, in a field. They're now, ladies and gentlemen, believe they're battling Red Skull. Now, we can make jokes about the chirping goblin that attacked me, and the media even tries to spin it. Oh, it's fake. Oh, Jones just goes out there and it just happens. I shot more than 20 videos on the streets of Seattle when I was there for a week. I shot them live. A lot of you watched them. Every time I went out, somebody said, F you, or got in my face or threatened to attack me. One time when the camera wasn't rolling, I walked out of a restaurant, and a guy acted like he was going to hit me with his Range Rover. I had to jump out of the way, and I thought, did that guy try to just hit me? He rolls the window and goes, F you. And I couldn't help it. I just said, man, get out of the car. He goes, he thought he was real tough. I said, just get out. Just go ahead. So, he was against folks with tats. But, he had big muscles and tats all over him. He was going to show off. I said, you're a coward, thug, punk. Just because of your politics on who you are, you're not going to get out of that car. So I said, get out. And say that to my face right now. So he drove down the street while I was walking, calling me all these names, calling me gay. Oh, I thought you're so liberal. Oh, Alex is gay, so let's put him down. He called me the pejorative terms. And, of course, my response to somebody does that's always say, I'm a Russian agent, yeah. Or you say I'm gay? Okay, yeah, I am. You say I'm Jewish and that somehow is bad? Okay, I'm Jewish. Then let's just move forward. I'm not Jewish. It doesn't matter, though. I'd be proud if I was. I'm going to go to Israel. I want to see Israel. They're going to say I went there to get my orders. I can't live in this world of these mentally ill people where they want to dictate and try to bully me into submission. I'm not going to sit there and go along with it. But I'm digressing. They're planning a civil war. They're pushing it in the NFL. This is all being directed, and they want to make it racially based, where if you're not a liberal, that means you're a Nazi, so you deserve to be beat up, you deserve to be fired, you deserve to be thrown out by your landlord, you deserve to be killed. It's called a cultural revolution. It's a Mao model. You go to UT, where they have the Red Guard that openly march with AK-47s in Austin. They've told me to my face, you wait till the revolution starts, you're dead, Jones. And they've been beavering away behind the walls like termites forever. And now they're just spilling out. Imagine you are an officer, just graduated from Army's West Point. And at graduation, you have a hat saying communism will win. They've got the big banks. They've got the mainstream media. They've got everything. And they believe they're invincible. And that's why they're coming out in the open, because they're getting ready to D-Day. They're getting ready to launch their attack. Antifa Army lieutenant radicalized under Islamist's West Point advisor. Dan Lyman, newswars.com. What an important article. Devout communist planned revolution on U.S. soil. He's saying violence. We're going to kill people. We're getting ready to do it. He's prepared to lead the attack. He's wearing a Che Guevara shirt underneath his dress uniform. And he was taught this at West Point. A U.S. Army lieutenant exposed himself as a radical communist on Twitter last week, prompting a firestorm in the new media and the deep dive into his background, revealing that he was closely mentored by an Islamist professor. Look at the former CIA director. Look at the former intelligence director. All of them are Wahhabists. You can't make this up. Sorry. A deep dive into his background, revealing that he was closely monitored by an Islamist professor at West Point. InfoWars was one of the first to break the story of Second Lieutenant Spencer Rapone, who posted photos of himself in dress uniform, flashing a sign that read, "Communism will win," and proudly bearing a Che Guevara shirt beneath his military jacket, even though Che Guevara said Mexican Indians were cockroaches. Rapone is now under a former military investigation, but not for what he was wearing. the stuff on his Facebook says the violence is coming, get ready. We're going to kill capitalists. It has been discovered that Rapone's cadet advisor was Dr. Rashid Hossein, a man with whom Rapone grew close. Ugh. They reportedly traveled to India together. Oh, good Lord. According to examinations of Rapone's online history, his metamorphosis into an anti-American revolutionary appears to sync with the development of the camaraderie with Hossein. I can't read anymore. Go read it for yourself and see all the evidence. It's up to you to get this out. And this is just a snapshot of one of these roaches, one of these termites coming out in the light. Little arrogant demon. Talking about how much he hates America, how much he wants to walk around in our blood. You know what really isn't good about this is that these people aren't even worth fighting, except we have to. But I mean, there's no, if it comes to a shooting war, it's like, they're not even a worthy opponent. They're just trash. It's just taking out the garbage. Taking out the garbage. I mean, let's take a look again. We can make jokes about this, but this is an actual chirping, gibbering goblin creature that attacked me with coffee. Imagine when the green light comes for violence, what these chirping, hopping creatures will do. Here it is.
You're trash.
Hey, come tell me on camera. Come tell me on camera. Come tell me on camera. Come here, coward. Come here, coward. Right here on camera. Right here. Tell people intellectually who you are.
Intellectually who I am?
Go ahead, yeah.
Yeah, I'm your mama. I'm your mama.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
This is what they turn the people into. This is it right here. Literal slave of the system. Yeah, I can't even talk. Look at you. Hey, this is what they've turned the people into.
Love so hard to find.
Literal slave of the system. See that? That's who they are. Look at the slave. There's hours of this up on Infowars.com, but here's 5 minutes of the undercover report from louderwithcrowder.com. Antifa plans civil war to overthrow the government is where you find it on drudgereport.com. You got to go read this because there's a bunch of videos. This is just one of them from around the country. The Revolutionary Communist website, the main socialist groups, all of them say November 5th, and they're already blocking roads. We have video of that in California, in LA, and other areas saying, get ready, it's coming. So they want violence, they want death. And remember, no matter how many people they attack, whatever, you fight back, you're going to be a horrible person in the news. So the scum of the earth is now coming out of their dungeons, out of their little minion holes. Everybody should be aware of it. Here is part of that report. And remember, this was all given to the media weeks ago. We reported it a month ago plus from our sources. This was all given to the media, just like all the election fraud news, all of it. And they chose not to run hours of this sensational stuff. And the police are doing nothing. Because, you know, that's American pie now, is dirty communist and Antifa fascists that want to go out and hurt people. And they're planning violence and mass murder. See, nowadays, Charlie Manson wanted this back in the 60s. Nowadays, Charlie Manson would be a congressman. He'd get up there and talk about killing white people and how they're the devil, or black people, or vice versa, with a swastika between his crazy eyes. Helter-skelter, and they'd say, oh, make that man a congressman. Here it is.
The idea is just plain clothes and hard tactics, and I don't think they'll know what hit them because they're not prepared for what we're planning.
You're gonna take the knife. How much?
In order to get in with the Antifa crowd, we had to infiltrate their private groups. After news broke that they were officially classified as a domestic terrorist organization, they pulled everything in much closer to the chest. They started vetting people, becoming paranoid about spies. They demanded we meet with them in person, installing a cryptic messaging app onto our phone, which they used to organize.
So I just met with the guy, and he installed a super secret encrypted messenger app on my phone, and they immediately took roll call, using all pseudonyms such as Firebird, Ski Mask, Xavius. Yeah, everyone except for Will.
Yes, Will, whom we immediately identified on Facebook. Will also boasted of his sawed-off shotguns and armory in his trunk. At least that's what he said.
I have a toolbox full of shit.
Did you bring your gun?
I have, like, on the border between just a regular rifle and an assault weapon and a sawed-off style shotgun. Shit is the thing.
Yeah, like last ditch here.
Blue Subaru with a dent on the side, on the driver's side. That's mine.
So remember, just as the local authorities will remember, this is Will. What happened to you, Will?
And then I've got a handgun. Yeah, we got 2 AKs coming. If you go down to like the military surplus store, the Navy surplus store, whatever, you can get like a K-bar for like 30, 40 bucks. And it's just a combat knife. It's a fixed blade, 5 inches or so, but it's just you strap it on your leg and you're good to go. I mean, this one's like tiny, so you have to really stab them the whole
Shit is the thing.
Yeah, like last ditch is going to be
Blue Subaru.
lure them down here.
Whoa, 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 hold. Luring people to their cars with sawed-off shotguns and handing out knives and shivs. This went far beyond a goof, and we needed to get Nake Jared out of there. Good thing the man's got a quick mind.
Is there a place to shit around here? I don't know this campus.
And to the right.
All right, I'll be right back. You guys could be in a few minutes.
Yes, at the risk of being called a snitch, Nake Jared immediately turned the footage over to the authorities, who were already aware of our presence there, by the way. Turns out they'd been tracking this pansexual / transgender queer with an axe to grind for a while, and they were grateful for our footage. The media, on the other hand, who you think would jump on a story like this, well, their response is what's most disturbing of all. He was just down there at President's Circle, and they were handing out sharp objects to stab people with, said they had someone coming with an AK. Why did it take 2 late-night hosts, comedians, to find this out?
You know what, I wish you guys luck.
Even being shown the footage in the presence of police officers to confirm authenticity, they walked away. Also, I should note, this is Dan Harris from Nightline, national ABC News. He knew about the footage and the whole story, too. I offered it to him and asked for his card. He did not give it to me. We were delivering a story to local and national news.
All right, folks, we're going to come back with more of this. Again, this is amazing. And by the way, Crowder's a real comic who's actually doing real news. You've got all these fake comics that then pose as myself every night to misrepresent what we stand for and call us racist so that mentally ill people that they're winding up then kill us. That's what this is. This is a build-up towards revolution, a build-up towards a new October revolution with the 100th anniversary coming up in just a week.
Survival Shield X2 Nascent Iodine. If you're interested in healthy thyroid, if you're interested in well-being, if you're interested in having a higher IQ, which this has been linked to, get your powerful Survival Shield X2 at InfoWarsStore.com.